Hello, everybody. Welcome back, or welcome to our Wednesday show. This is
Yep.
our first night we are doing this, and me and Dan had been discussing about what we were going to do on a Wednesday night. So, we're going to test doing celebrity readings.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know us, my name is Jen. This is
Dan.
Dan. Yes, this
Yep.
is the Human Design Advantage channel. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please make sure you do that before we dive into today's show. Dan, I'm going to kind of pass the torch over to you so you can
Yep.
tell everybody what exactly we're going to be doing tonight.
Well, where last we left off, there was we were going over the vortex and awareness and how the mind gets in the way and how our right now is the sharpest tool in the shed. So tonight I thought we would put some of that to work, the sharpness of that tool with somebody. And this was just, there's a lot of celebrity charts out there. I've been grabbing them as I see them. And I thought, how cool would it be to talk about these people?
I think it would be awesome to talk about these people. So we're going to actually bring in a couple of different things into this show. We're going to read celebrities. First and foremost, please know that we had to search for this information. So it is found on the internet. Me and Dan kind of actually have a theory on that. I'm starting to pay attention to the times that are on the internet, and birth accuracy does help really pinpoint your human design chart.
It matters. That time matters. So anyone who wants to hunt for times for any celebrity, birth date is easy. You look them up. There's always a little bio. They were born on this day in this town to so-and-so. The birth time doesn't always show up. You have for astrology charts and see who's done astrology on them. And then technically speaking, we can't be sure that. I looked through the day on Angela Jolie and the chart stayed remarkably the same as it relates to the definition, but the profile changed. The arrows changed throughout the day. So there's stuff that will be different throughout the day. So Angela, if you're listening to this, A, have fun, and B, if something truly doesn't resonate, call it in and say, no, I was born at this time. Correct that.
Yes, we would like to know, because we're gonna dig deep on this show. And with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing the screen. That way we can share Angelina.
We're gonna do something different today as well. That's you, and the next one will probably be me. Oh. So everyone, that's Jen's body graph.
Oh, that's not what I was supposed to be showing. There we go.
And I don't know who that other slide was.
That was the Just Now chart from Sunday.
Oh, okay. And you got my chart in there too.
Absolutely got your chart in there too.
So Angela Jolie. Geez, Jen, ask me questions so I can be a good generator and respond.
Okay. Well, first tell everybody, what is her type?
So what we're looking at here, thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
So what we're looking at here is a generator. If you see that red sacral box defined, you're a generator. And then what we're looking at is a manifesting generator, because if there's a direct connect from a motor, in this case, 2 motors to the throat, then they have manifesting capacity. They're a manifesting generator. But they run into problems when they initiate, because the generator must surrender. They must surrender to that little Buddha that is the red sacral box. And
this one.
Yep. So she's not responding, and just being a responsive soul and trying to make stuff happen, she runs into problems in her life, period. Every time she tries to push the river pushes back. So some interesting characteristics about this. One of the graphics we couldn't get, it was a mind, an animated mind with all these little like dots of light floating around it all over the place. And it just sort of spun on an axis. And I chose that because she's got an open head and an open ajna. So right off the bat, we know that she thinks about too many things. So much stuff that doesn't matter rips through her, and she's not always sure what to do with that. And then the open ajna says, you know what? I'm going to try and pretend I'm mentally certain These are the voices of our not self mind, our old 7-centered not self mind. So they take her away from her, who she really is. As soon as she's thinking about too many things, they suddenly don't matter. None of them except one. There's only ever one thing that matters at a time. And then she's trying to be certain about all of that. And her uncertainty is a source of great anxiety. She's just completely open ajna. So uncertainty just turns into mayhem until she finally re-surrenders. My guess is Angela Jolie has gone through a lifetime of continually re-surrendering to her lack of certainty. I just can't know. I just can't know. I just can't know. Okay, I surrender. But it comes right back. She's emotional. So her inner authority is not the sacral. Her inner truth is the sacral, because that's her strategy to respond. But her inner authority to make a decision, to actually know what's true, comes through clarity. That emotional solar plex on the far right is defined. It's defined straight to the throat, another manifesting channel. That's right. And that channel is the channel of transitoriness. It's all about the pain-pleasure principle. It's all about, sex, new experiences,
Interesting
yeah.
you say that, because I'm okay. So I did some research on Miss Angelina Jolie, and there's been some recent things that have come up around that. So I am all ears. We won't tap into that just yet.
Okay.
Make sure please elaborate on that.
Make sure it's not too dicey, because I never know what's true out there online and stuff. But anyways, so
true.
And not to mention poor Angelina. I say this about everybody. I would say this about Attila the Hun. Poor Attila, he didn't know who he was, so whatever she's into, it's not her fault. So I know that sounds, guys, I realize that sounds hard to swallow, but you'll see when I read for you, you've been doing things that just, it's not your fault. You didn't know.
Well, so far you've also described somebody who can be easily manipulated, who can be easily controlled.
Not easily controlled.
Not easily controlled.
No, in fact, she can't be controlled. She can be directed. She can be pointed at something. So this channel of transitoriness, so we covered all of these mechanics in episodes 1 through 8 on our Demystifying Human Design series. Gate number 36 off the top of the solar plex, that's red. That means it's unconscious. Gate 36 says, I'm hungry for the experience. I'm inexperienced, and I want to become experienced because I'm hungry for an experience. I want it. Give it. And because we human beings are incredibly sexual creatures, most of this experience is wrapped up in sexual fantasy. Now, that fantasy doesn't ever have to go anywhere. She's got a gate 41 in her body graph. It can simply be released through the act of fantasy. We can't legislate what goes on in someone's mind. We cannot judge for the thoughts that run through. We judge on actions. So, don't let that be something that is of any consequence. It's just unconsciously, there is a huge festering desire fest, and it's filled with fantasy that knows no bounds. And she is always fantasizing for how hungry she is for the feeling to have a new experience come to fruition. I gotta have it. And so she's in all these action movies where there's just so much stuff going on. I can imagine she gets bored with that over time, because once that experience has been had, it's over, been there, done that. And that's the way of her decision making. Her decision making comes in this emotional wave. Do I need to have this experience? And gate 35 is conscious in her. That's the gate of X, where we have a genetic proclivity to expect stuff. We want to expect stuff. I expect this experience is going to, here comes the not self mind. I expect this experience is going to fix the things that don't matter that I keep thinking about and make me be certain. And it's not. Ever. And again, I'm stacking up keynotes. I've never met Angela. Maybe she'll dial in and tell us one day. So this channel of transitoriness is keynoted with the jack of all trades. It just, once it's been there, it's done that, it moves on to the next thing. If someone has this channel and someone wants to know what kind of instrument should I play, ask this person, because chances are they've tried many instruments. They've been there, they've done that. They tried the banjo. They moved on to the drums. And now they're playing a violin or a guitar. Who knows? That's what it does. It's constantly transitioning through the next experience. What's it like to be on top of a mountain? What's it like to do it in a canoe? What's it like for her with all this great nurture that she wants to have? What's it like to have children? You know, what's it like to maybe save children? What's it like to anything?
Yeah, talk about that. What about humanitarian?
Well, now I can't say that she is humanitarian because I don't know what she does with this fantasy and that busyness that's right now that must control things, because this emotional wave is in a crash wave. The experience gets close. She can taste it. She's high on her wave. It's so juicy. Anyone around her wants to have sex with her. I can tell you that right now. She has to fight boys back all the time. That's why you see that look on her face. That game face is basically like, I know you're looking at me, and she's right. And it's not her fault. This just goes out into the world. This is how we have so many children. And this is how we're always doing so much stuff in that arena. But it's all the experiences. I want to drive fast. Ricky Bobby, I want to go fast. That experience. I want to shoot guns. I want to kill somebody. I don't know. Who knows? Anything can go on here, and it can rage. That experience goes way up on top of a wave, and as soon as the experience is over, very often, if it didn't meet their expectation, now she's aware of this daunting expectation that's sitting there awaiting her, and she wants it. I want it. I want it. I want it. But she can't have it. Most of the time, she won't have it. So she crashes down on a wave.
Is that expectation something that she's placing upon herself?
Yep.
Is it conscious or
it's
unconscious?
It's so she's aware that she's nervous that the expectation won't get met.
So she's aware she's placing expectations upon herself.
Absolutely.
She's her own worst enemy.
Absolutely. And she's constantly telling herself, oh shit, I knew it. She's got a defined spleen. She always knows it. As soon as it didn't work out, she knew it. In that moment, she knew it. So this crash wave, when it comes crashing down, the next thing you know, it is in this emotional turmoil, and there's this melancholy. There's nothing new under the sun. There's the melancholy and the sadness of, I can focus and concentrate, but I can't seem to sit still. I can start stuff, but I can't seem to finish stuff all the time, and I struggle to. And I'll spend all my energy trying to finish stuff to prove I can finish stuff, even though I'm only a good starter.
This sounds like me in a way.
Yeah, she has the melancholy of what's the purpose, the sadness over, does my life even have a purpose? So she'll try outrageous things to give her life purpose, and the melancholy
That's
of what
interesting. You say that too.
Yep. What to provoke, the melancholy over what to provoke. Where is the spirit to it all? She's hunting for a spirit that's not in her design. But the hunter for it, the provocateur to find that spirit, is in her design. It's down gate number 39 on the bottom of the root center. And most of these melancholy gates are unconscious in her. Most of them.
And that can be any spirit, correct?
Say it again.
Any spirit, whatever, anything.
It's the spirit of herself. It's the spirit of humanity within herself. So it is her spirit. And because that gate of spirit isn't in her body graph, she thinks it's missing. And she'll take risks to find out what was missing. So I had a marriage, something's missing. I'm going to take a risk. Let's get divorced. I'm trying to find the spirit of my life and let me bring it purpose. Let's go adopt some children. Okay, boom. I have the money. Let's go there right now. If those adoptions aren't what she planned, if those children aren't controllable in a way that her fast, busy little busybody wants it to be, it might not be what she expected. I don't know.
Does it show what happens when when her expectations are not met?
No, nothing will ever show the specific of what will happen, but the mechanics of how it will happen do get known. Those mechanics are, she will go up and down on a crash wave and get potentially very angry, certainly incredibly frustrated. And from that frustration, she'll take a risk in order to correct a pattern that she wants to have corrected into some fixed pattern that's ritualistic. is she's big on ritual. The gate 5 in her body graph off the sacral. Go to the sacral for a moment.
Okay.
See that gate 5? It's got a little white circle around it.
Yes.
So this gate 5, and there's 3 activations off this sacral. There's 34, which is power right now. You can barely see it because the 5's sort of covering it.
Right. It's right above it, though.
It's right above it, and it goes up to the throat. That's a manifesting channel, but it's a generative one. It's the generator's manifesting channel. It's the design of a classic manifesting generator. So that channel says, I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now. So she was always busy. So again, I wish I had Brad's chart up here, but if she is busy right now and busy right now, and Brad wasn't busy doing the things that she wanted to do, she's going to make or break that bond. So they were constantly in the process of making and breaking bonds.
What was his? Did we not find?
I didn't see his. I looked for it, but I didn't look extensively, but I just didn't see it. And that's cool, because when we see it, and then we can pull up Brad's one day and be like, oh, dude. And we can pull up Angela's next to him and be like, oh, sis, dude, sorry. If we were around, we would have told you. You know what I mean? And you could have surrendered to certain things and recognized it's not the other's fault.
We'll see who's surrendering to who.
Well, they got to surrender to their own selves first.
Yes.
Yep. And to their own ways. So again, anger would show up in a crash moment. It's just going to flare. It's going to show up. It's going to be there. And then suddenly she's going to think that doesn't serve my purpose. And she's going to get mad at herself. What did I go through? How come there's too many things? Very often she's going to point her finger. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. But the older she gets, the wiser she gets. So one is to presume that, I don't know how old Angelina Jolie is right now, but what, she's not like 20 anymore. She's what, like 40 or 50 or something?
I think so.
So somewhere in there, she's a grown-ass woman. As time goes by, this maturity that is supposed to click in starts to realize, wait a second, that's not always my stuff, and I'm not in control of it. And they start to surrender to this naturally, to a degree, if they're lucky. If they're not lucky, they stay angry and pissed on a wave that is so sexy when it's up on its wave and so detrimental when it's down on its wave. She doesn't know what to do with any of that. It's an emotional crash wave. The crash is not just down, it crashes up. And when it crashes up, it's intoxicating. Everyone around wants something to do with Angelina Jolie when she's in a good mood. And that feels good, and she's on a high. And everybody gets the hell out of the way when she's not in a good mood, and because her spirit is low, and the purpose isn't there, and she can't focus, and she can't be in control of stuff. Whatever it is, the expectation wasn't met. Mm-hmm. So this is, I mean, as a child, the 5-year-old and all of this wouldn't have known what any of that was. And they might have broken their toys. They might have, stomped off. Who knows? She's a 3-5 profile. So that's the martyr heretic. She has been martyred in her life over and over again. Jesus, Angela, you did it again. Jesus, Angela, that was another mistake. Wow, Angela, you made it real big. I take it back. I want to say nice things about you, but Angela's going to be like, you had your chance, So she's grown up a life of recognizing, oh shit, I made another mistake. She's a 3-5. She can't make a mistake. The third line of that 3-5 is here to trial and error. It's here to experiment with stuff. It's here to try this and try that. And with this channel of transitoriness, boy, has she tried some of this and tried some of that. She has tried it all. This girl has tried many, many things, and she's been a wild child, absolutely wild. Her parents would have had a hard time controlling her. They couldn't control her. She is control. There's 4 manifesting channels in the body graph. Okay. She's got 3 of them.
What are they?
Well, they're the far right channel that we've been talking about, transitoriness. It's because the emotional solar plex, a powerful motor. That motor goes straight to the throat. So that's a manifesting channel. It's here to manifest stuff. But again, it's housed in a generator that must respond. The ego, the red ego in the just above that, it's got a gate 51 and a 21. This is the channel of money, the channel of materialisticness, the channel of the king and the queen, the channel of the hunter and the huntress that must be the king and the queen. She's here to basically teach the tribe what are the customs. And what are the rituals? What are the things we're going to do? How's this all supposed to go? 21 says, I'm in control. And I mean, it'll beat the tar out of something if it loses control for too long. When I say beat the tar out of, this is a hard argument, a big fat fight, a breakup. I don't know if it'll actually physically beat the tar out of somebody, but it could. But 21 at 45 says, wait a minute. You're the hunter, 21. You control the hunting party. You control things. You're the enforcer. She's the enforcer of things. However, 45 says, but wait a minute. We're more regal than that. I'm the king and the queen. I will say what we have and what we don't have. And whatever we don't have, I'm going to educate people on what we need to have. A good king and a queen, a good tribal leader, educates their tribe on the tribe's ways. So the tribe stays a tribe. That's what makes them an effective leader. They're always keeping a continuity amongst their people so that their people don't want to necessarily leave. They like the continuity, and they've got to educate the masses, or else the masses will turn on them for taking all the resources. So this is a channel of being, stubbornly selfish. The resources are mine, give them to me. Or, I'm living in my nature, and that powerful ego of mine, will speak what we have, what the world tribe has, what the world tribe doesn't have. And so that tribal leader very well will control the entire environment until it's in Africa and adopting children as a possibility, until it's making the right marriage bond, until it's got the right control over the movie set she's on. I bet you the directors of the sets that she is on and the co-workers of the set she is on sometimes have a statement, not to their benefit and not to their detriment, or Angela's, but sometimes we'll have statements that be like, she's such a controlling bitch. But
yes, I do think that has come through. I didn't find any articles about that, but I will say this. Everything that you have said has been pretty much spot on with what I have
been reading.
Gotcha. Especially about her in the headlines. So,
yep. Oh, okay, yeah. But the thing is, if you have this whole channel, it's not your fault. You're not trying to be in control. You are control.
Yes.
If someone tries to control you, that's no good. And it doesn't mean you have the right to control other people. It means that when you are around the right people that accept your authority to have a certain amount of control, then you're with the right forces. And if you're in your right self, you'll provide for those forces, for those people. It's a two-way street. It's supposed to be in our 9-centered existence, in our 7-centered existence 200 and more years ago, 240 and more years ago. It was, you didn't listen to me, off with your head. You disobeyed the tribe, off with your head. No good. No room for individuality. So it depends how far into the old 7-centered hangover is she still, or has she started to step out of that? I wouldn't know, but she would.
She would, but all this applies regardless of whatever situation she's in or whatever she's doing.
Right.
She's naturally acting out her design.
Absolutely.
And wherever she is living, which is even more enlightening through the whole thing.
I'm not sure where she lives, but wherever she lives, she is in control of that environment. The tapestries on the wall, the colors, the color scheme, the smell of the food that's being cooked in that house. She's in control of all of that. If she doesn't like it, she's got something to say, and the people around her will recognize, oh, she doesn't like that, and they'll change it up.
I am pretty sure even down to the decisions of her kids.
What they think of what a tribe does. The tribe, what they eat, because the tribe smells a certain way. The tribe in the next village, they don't smell the same. They eat more garlic or less garlic or whatever. So they control what they eat, what they wear, because the colors of the tribe matter, and what they're going to know as the general rules of the tribe. And lastly, just the environment in general. Hey, the tribe is on a farm. This farm's environment isn't looking so healthy. Get the hell back to work. We got to water this, weed that, the environment isn't right. And the 21 will control that. And the 45 will sanctify that control. And the humans around it will fall in place, or they're not the right beings for her. and vice versa. She could find herself in a whole tribe of people where they're not the right beings for her. But guess what? Guess who's out of place there? Not them. They're the mass. She is. So she can suffer greatly for being in the wrong place, or if there's she's had many boyfriends in her life. I don't know if that's true, but I would bet dollars to donuts that in her life she's been through many experiences with various men, and that's good for her. That's not bad, but she's undoubtedly been shamed for it and told she was bad, and that's not true. That's not at all true. She's just busy controlling her environment, trying to find the experiences she wants to get into. Busy in control, trying to find the experience. So that gate 34 that goes up to the throat, that's the channel of charisma. Very charismatic is Angelina Jolie. Why? Because if you have this channel in your body graph, it goes
this one,
that one, and it goes off to the left and it bends up to the throat center.
Mm-hmm.
That channel of charisma is a great channel of a lot of power, because it takes gate 34, the sacral generative life force, that is the power of the great, just a deep well of power, endless power, and it's directed directly at the throat. And the throat says, I am now. So I am powerful now. What does that mean? That means someone says something, she says something back. Someone does something, she does something about it. Someone comes at her, she goes at them, or runs or ducks. Someone's talking too slow, she finishes their sentence for them. Traffic's not going fast enough, she's laying on her horn. She is fast. All these manifesting channels they just want to be fast. The only one that's willing to be a little less fast, and only with some awareness, is the one manifesting channel she doesn't have. You have it, Jen. 22 to 12. It's what defines you as a manifester. And that channel has caution at the end of it, gate 12. So a 2112, this openness is open to hearing the other and open to some caution before it acts. Open to
that sounds like me.
Yeah, open to it, not necessarily responsive to it. It's not like you've always, been cautious before you act. You've had your share of leaping into
I know.
But mostly as you get older, you learn caution. I say that's pretty cool. I have gate 12 in my chart. I caution, but not enough caution plenty of times. Oops. So it's the keynote for this channel of charisma. It's so charismatic because it takes awareness, like something happened. For this, the awareness is what the sacral response is. Sacral response is immediate. Remember from past episodes, that response is immediate. There's no time delay. There's no delay. It's immediate. And that responsiveness goes into the now. So as soon as there's a response, it's an awareness that she must do something with it right now. So, someone says no, she says bullshit, no, yes, and steamrolls over them to get to her yes. Like I said, a classic one is someone's talking too slow and she finishes the sentence for him. She rolls her eyes, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, come on, let's go. What is it? Get to the point. She speaks fast, walks fast, goes fast. She's perfect for the movie set she's in because everything's fast. She loves that. The practical mundane keynote for it is busy. And remember the 3 awareness centers. She's got 2 of them defined, but the sacral is not one of them. The sacral is not aware. It's just a responsive mechanism that tells us what's true and gives us our power, but it's not aware of survival. It's not aware that I'm in an emotional wave. It's just a responder. So without awareness, her deeds must become done right now. So sometimes she's callously busy right now, not listening to the other. I don't want to hear you. I'm not listening. I'm busy. I'm busy now. Busy. What are you doing? I don't know. I'm busy. Do you want to come this? No, I'm busy. Angela, we got a new movie for you. Send it to my agent. Tell him to read the script. I'm too busy. Hey, do you want to read another script? No, I'm busy. Until she starts reading. Maybe then she'll read a whole script. And maybe she reads all of her scripts. I don't know. She's got that powerful ego, so maybe that's a thing she does. But it would not surprise me if she didn't read all of her scripts in full before, the agent was like, dude, this is good stuff. We need to take this gig or whatever. She's a visionary in that way. She will look towards what does she expect out of it. And that's the first thing she's going to look at. So That's what these 3 channels are doing. So you put that all together. I'm busy controlling stuff so I can get the experience I want. I'm controlling the experience that I think I'm going to get, and I better be in control. And God damn it, right now I'm aware and I'm busy right now. And they call it charisma because it seems charismatic when someone acts right now easily. Oh, look at that. They're so strong. They just go right and do it. Well, that's what charisma looks like. They get up and go right now. Always. They can't help it. You know, she was perfect in that movie. What was the movie she was in with her husband where they were assassins and they found out?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, that was just great. I love that. You know, they actually, my guess is they played out their marriage in that movie. Would be my guess.
I liked her. I'm not an Angelina Jolie fan anymore, but Gia. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. That was based on a true story.
Nope, never saw it.
It was good. It was a remake of a model's life, and that was like one of her. Well, I think she did Gia shortly after she did. Hackers.
Oh, so that would have been early on.
Early Angelina Jolie.
Well, she is very influential in this way because people get into her aura and they get sucked in. They get sucked in because she controls things. So she controls things. She is controlled. There is no controlling Angela Jolie. If you put a chain around her neck, she'll die. She won't live. I say that with a modicum of certainty. She'll live a while, but she won't. It's bad.
She wouldn't do good in jail, would she?
No. Well, maybe she would make a tribal village in jail right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best idea. There might be some like backlash on that. You know, they'll have to do some lockdowns or some shit.
Whatever. I'm not worried about it. We're just keynoting here. Again, we're
keynoting.
We're keynoting definition that is in a body graph that she can rely on. Angela, if you're listening to this, if you're not around the right forces, it's because they're trying to control you. Don't let it happen. You know, if you experience a crash wave, it's just a chemistry, hun. Don't apply meaning to it. And for God's sakes, don't tell someone it's their fault. It's not. It's just a chemistry. You had to go down on your wave so you could come back up smarter. If you find yourself busy right now, that's pretty much correct for you. But you can now witness, hey, maybe I don't need to be so busy right now this time. You know, you have that awareness. You can choose to sort of hold off for a moment. Let the person finish their sentence because they were talking too slow, whatever. I have this channel in my body graph. I let people finish their sentences now, not always. I try to, and I spot it when I don't.
Yes.
And I know that I was helpless. And so the last channel down at the bottom, this is the channel of judgment. It's 58 up to 18. Yes, look at all these motors in her body graph. She's got all 4 motors defined. There's 4 motors in a body graph: the ego, solar plex, the root at the bottom, and of course, the big daddy, the sacral. Yep. And so she's just a motorized cannonball. You point her in a direction. If she decides that direction was also her idea too, she'll go in it. If she feels trapped and stuck, I don't know what she'll do in that position. She'll fight. If she truly feels trapped, she's on the cross of consciousness. If the expectation doesn't meet the fixed patterns just right, then she gets confused, literally, and the confusion comes in, and doubt and confusion are there to drive the experiential process so that we start to get it right. It's here driving consciousness. Now, but don't forget, there's the binary or not. So this could be the cross of consciousness or the cross of the lack of consciousness, period. And she could fear that doubt and that confusion so much and hate it so much that she drives it underground when it belongs above ground. She's here to go through moments of confusion and doubt because that's her chemistry signal that she's on to something. As soon as her body gives her confusion and doubt, and she starts having this back and forth of doubt and confusion and doubt, That's freaking awesome, Angela. Go have a seat, puff on a cigar, get a glass of wine, ride it out, go through a wave, get a little depressed. You're about to come up with something very important. Wait it out in awareness so we can have the benefit of that. Chances are we've benefited a great deal from some stuff Angela's done. There's every chance in the world that the planet has been detracted from some of the stuff she's done. I don't know, but she does. That's the point. And when we get at each being, I get to make that same statement. I don't know, brother, but you do. Tell me what is the scoop with all of that? And suddenly they'll start talking, and that's so good for them. And suddenly they don't care anymore. She should be here not giving a flying crap about any of this stuff. I'm not in control here. It's not the right place. I'm just going to go. That channel of judgment, the last one down below, links the root, the adrenals, it's stress. That's a stress center. She's under constant stress. She puts herself under constant stress. And she doesn't put herself there. She is there. Because if you have a defined root, you have a steady awareness that there's stress. And actually, if you become aware of it, it doesn't feel like stress to the person with a defined root. It feels like stress to people like you and I, Jen, who have an open root center. Because we amplify her. She might be very even keeled with all of her stress. It would be very common for people with defined root centers to be relatively even within their stress field. They're even and they put their stress out, and that stress makes movement, and that movement makes things get done. That's good. People around that amplify that stress. Oh my God, I'm not getting enough stuff done. This movement sucks. I need more. I got to go faster. That's you and I sometimes.
That's definitely you and I.
Yes,
not my pressure.
Not my, and we have to say that to ourselves. Hey, that's not my pressure, because it's not.
Pressure.
We're just here with, so we could be around Angela Jolie and she could put us under a great deal of pressure, and we could say, hey, Angela, I see you're in a hurry to get someplace. That's not my pressure. And watch her absolutely explode.
I wish I could get that opportunity.
Or go, well, that's very interesting. Okay, well, let's keep moving anyways. One's aware, one's not. So we don't know. This channel of judgment, it is the pressure to find joy. She's under pressure to correct any pattern that doesn't bring joy onto the plane. She's under pressure to challenge authority, the authority that keeps a pattern down. When I say a pattern, a logical pattern that wants to be expressed in some kind of enthusiastic way. I got it. Let's do it this way. This will work out so good if we do that. It's the joy to find the shit that's going to work. And that says humanity is always on a path to find the joy in stuff that works. You know what it's like when you put something together and it works. There's great joy in that. The awareness of that joy is brought to us courtesy of the people who have this channel of judgment. But if you notice, it's in the collective stream of awareness. It's in the collective logical stream. So it's very cool and it's shared. Let me share my judgment of what needs to be corrected with you, Brad. These children are suffering. We are adopting them. I'm in control here. And I bought tickets 2 seconds ago because I'm busy right now. And I have a feeling that I want to be satiated. I'm inexperienced in going to Africa to get children, if that's what she did. And I want the experience of that. We're going to have the experience of that because I've noticed the world is not correct. Now, that could be why she went to go adopt children. I mean, that's what she said over and over. Again, I don't know, Angela, but you do. People think this is a bitching channel because she's always observant of the stuff that needs to be corrected. Again, this is the design of someone who takes over a movie set. Because she notices all thing, that boom is out of place. There's dust over there. I see some grit on the film camera lens. It's going to come out grainy. Can you wipe this stuff down? I told you I want this kind of soda, not that. You put too much sugar in my this, whatever. It's just always correcting stuff. And it's never personal. It's shared. The keynote for the collective is I'm going to share. Let me share my shit with you. My good stuff. So on the right-hand side, that crash wave, that's collective too. That's in the collective stream of feelings.
You talking about the 41?
The 41 that misses the 30 because there's no 30, so she doesn't know what feeling to cling to. She's got a big trip over what feeling she's supposed to cling to. She doesn't know what feelings to cling to. She doesn't have a gate 55. She doesn't know what spirit is really going to be right, so she continues to provoke. So look at those two gates at the bottom, gate 35, gate 41 and gate 39. Those two red gates at the bottom of her at the bottom of the root center.
What was the numbers?
39 and 41, the root center at the very bottom.
Yes, okay, right here.
Yep. They're unconscious. And they don't make it to gate 31, a clinging fire to cling to a feeling. Humanity has this passion and propensity to cling to the freaking feeling. I got a feeling. I want to do it. I got a feeling. I want to know what the hell it is. I got a feeling. I want to find out. 41 is just, I have the fuel for your feeling. I have the fuel and I got fantasy and I got desire. I will give you the stress and the pressure needed to push that feeling. Maybe. And 30 says, but what is the feeling? She's got no gate 30. So she's constantly got this trip about, I don't know what it is I want to feel. And it crashes into the gate of crisis, gate 36, crisis about not having the experience and what feeling to feel. And suddenly she has a crash wave because she doesn't know what to feel. This is the stream of feeling. Over on the left, it's the stream of judgmentation. I judge these things good. I judge them bad. And mainly, it's I judge the authority above me that is making this pattern be good or bad. So she has told... Doesn't she have a problem with her dad?
Yes.
Well, I hope she makes up with dad before he dies, because it's not her fault and it's not dad's fault. Dad picked up your judgment and your incredible power right now that probably judged the crap out of him. Angela, you would need to know that wasn't personal. You were just recognizing patterns that you didn't like in your dad. It's not his fault. No one's at fault here.
I think her dad supports the other side. That's why.
This still doesn't matter because that's dad. So you know what? You support them. I'll support this. We're in the United States. We're both free to be ourselves. And so on all the other things, which about 52 billion other things in life besides that one issue.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the deal is with her father. It's always been a weird relationship in whatever news.
Well, she undoubtedly had expectations of her father that she was wanting right now, and she kept recognizing a pattern that she thought was no good.
Yes, absolutely.
But what was doing the thinking that the pattern was no good? That open head and ajna. I'll think about 100 things that don't matter, and I'm going to be certain about all of that. Angela Jolie's not certain about anything until she's had the experience, and it is a response, and she's gotten to clarity. She goes through that emotional wave up and down, she can come to clarity. Short of that, she doesn't know. And look at the other open centers. So she's got this third open center in her body graph. The G center, right in the center. And from our previous episode, I forgot which one it was, we would have went over the not self themes of these open centers.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an open G center, you're concerning yourself with love and direction. Oh, poor me, I'm not in the right direction. I don't have the right love in the right direction. I'm always looking for love and direction. I'm looking to solidify my love and direction. And you stack these keynotes up, and suddenly I'm not certain about all the things that seem to not matter about my love and direction. That doesn't seem to be in the right place. Let me go buy something. Let me go force something. Let me go control something. I need to control something because I'm not in the right love in the right direction. I don't have the right love. I don't feel as if I'm going the right way. I don't feel as if this is enough. And you stack all this stuff up, and the next thing you know, she's thinking about things that don't matter, totally uncertain about her own love and direction. So none of that is you, Angela, if you're listening. And look, there's a gate 13 on it, which just is the gate of, it's basically a strong gate of memory. It's always taking in the memories of others, so people come and tell her things. But there's a gate, what she would recognize the most is that gate 51 that's pointing right at it. See that ego gate that's pointing right at it?
Mm-hmm. Right here.
51 just says it's shocking. It's the gate of shock and thunder, over and under. And this is the gate of the warrior that wants to leap, and it's not connected to the other side. So she leaps, but doesn't always land. She leaps and forgets to land. She leaps into things that she didn't want to leap into because she felt compelled, because the sadness in gate 51, when it shows up, is the sadness that there's nothing new under the sun. And then you go to gate 28 in her body graph off the spleen, the sadness there, this red gate 28 off the bottom of her spleen, pointing down at the root center.
What was the gate?
Spleen, the triangle on the far left, brown triangle far left,
yes.
gate 28 pointing downward. That's
yes,
spleen. So this is an existential awareness that's only moment to moment, speaks once, speaks softly. And it tells her this is the right purpose. This does not get you to your purpose. It's about our human genetic propensity to fight for a purpose, to just have a purpose. And don't let me die without having fulfilled my purpose on this plane. You know what? I'm crippled. I'm paraplegic. I'll never get to my purpose. Kill me now. That's what this body graph would say. Or she woke up and said, I'm paraplegic. I'm going to make the best of it and find a new purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends where she's at in all of that. But death without a purpose is a terrible sadness. And it's not just death. It's just right now, there's no purpose to my right now. And gate 51, there's nothing new under the sun. You stack those two things together and the melancholy can be very severe. There's nothing new under the sun. There's no, my purpose isn't fulfilled. What is my purpose here? It's the purpose gate is unconscious. So it shows up out of nowhere. I fucking got no purpose. This is bullshit.
I think she's pretty much lived her purpose.
She's pretty much lived out her purpose, you think? I don't know enough about her. I know her from the movies and the couple of times I see her on a runway or whatever, you know.
Oh, yes. Yes, I get that. But I would say that was part of her purpose coming down here.
Cool. Well,
I would think.
It could very well be. Again, these are all things that she will know.
Personally, yes.
She surrenders to her responsive nature. Angela, if you're listening, the only thing that's ever true to you is what you respond to in the moment. That's your truth. And the only thing that's ever clear about that truth is what you go through your emotional wave on. And that's just a chemistry. It's not personal. But instead, that keynote of sharing in her not self life, looking for love and direction, totally uncertain why it's not all there the way she wants it to be because she's supposed to be in control, all of her definition can turn inward on her. And suddenly, power right now, it becomes ugly power, angry power right now. Judgmentation becomes I judge you instead of just, hey, I noticed that the camera film was dirty. You know, she's always noticing the stuff that's out of place. She's always noticing the patterns that aren't right and the authority that needs to be challenged. And you turn all this stuff in on itself, and it's my experience isn't meeting my expectation. I'm not in control of any of it. And my melancholy over my purpose and there being nothing new under the sun. Just, I'm going to go crawl under a rock right now.
Okay.
Not knowing why. Thinking, and very often thinking it's someone else's fault because the collective channels have to be shared. Let me share my crisis with you. Let me share my judgment with you. So it's not always nice when people share their crisis and their judgment. You know?
No, it's not.
Yeah. She could judge a pattern really good. That's no good at all. But if she thinks that that's right for her, she's stuck in that pattern. And she's going to control that thing. She's going to be in control of that pattern. Change gate 42 has just changed to 2. Oh, this is cool. So
what else can you wrap up with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah. Say that again.
What else can you wrap up with Angelina Jolie?
That she's a split definition. It's the last thing I'll say about her. The split definition is there's so many ways to bridge that split. It's where that channel of judgment giving her a defined spleen and a defined root center, it never makes it to the other definition. Look at gate 50. It points in at gate 27. Wherever there's a split in your body graph, when you're a split definition, wherever there is a split, that is where you long to fulfill. So gate 27 says, I care. It's the generative power to care and nurture. And 50 says, I'm the cauldron of values to know what to care and nurture. So she knows what to care and nurture. Where is all my sacral power to know for sure that I'm caring for the right thing? So she has a big trip about all of that. I did the gates on the side of the root center, 39 and 41, pointing up to there. Those are bridging gates. She doesn't have a 55. She's always wondering about her own spirit. She doesn't have a gate 30. She wonders what to cling to for a feeling. She doesn't have a gate in right at the top of the root center. There is no gate 42. So that's the gate of completing things, and 52 starts things. And there's no gate 52 right below gate 9. And that's the gate of being able to sit still so you can focus. So she's a wild fire hose trying to sit still and focus when she can't, and she can't finish the shit she started. I can't finish the stuff I started because my focus won't stay still. Or not. Or I figured out a way around that. And I've got, I've learned my own strategy and authority, and I have to wait. And then I wait, and then suddenly I'm clear and I know exactly what to focus on. And the stuff will get finished naturally. But my guess is she has a trip over all of that stuff because she's got 5 different ways to bridge her definition, 6 really. So that's a lot. If you want, one last thing at the top of her chart, see where that Sun Earth is under the personality?
Mm-hmm.
35.3, 35.3, and 5.3. That makes her a 3.5 profile. That's the martyr heretic. The third line is always bumping into stuff. It's adaptive. It's mutative. It sustains. It stays at it. I'm staying at it. I'm staying at it. And the 5th line over on the other side, it says, I'm a heretic. I'm going to bring something new, and everyone's going to project upon me that I'm so sexy, I'm going to get it done. They find it attractive, alluring. They want to be next to it. They want to project upon it. And she has been avoiding the projections of others. You can see it in her eyes when she walks through a crowd. She is razor focused on not drawing too much eye contact. That's the one thing I have noticed about her. She just, she glazes right over them because to suddenly contact with someone is going to draw their projection. She's aware of that. She's witnessed it in her life. She doesn't want to draw their projection because then she's going to get stuck having to be something that they want her to be that she doesn't want to be. Everyone else wants her to be it, and they call her a heretic when she isn't it. They call her a heretic when she is it, and it was something they didn't want. She's always bringing a heresy to things. And there is one last thing. That gate 5 at the top of her sacral, fixed patterns. It's all about bringing extreme stuff into a fixed set of patterns. It's incredibly ritualistic. It's about rituals. Yep. It's about rituals. And these can be big rituals, little rituals. I pour my glass of water to the same fullness every time. I whatever. I go to sleep at the same
children time. Rituals.
Yeah, my kids have to get up. They have to do this. They have to do that. Whatever the ritual is, and it's the type of rituals that set fixed patterns is the thing. It's about making fixed patterns. That's the genetic proclivity of it. We experience on this plane as rituals. Yep. If you want to go to any of the other slides, I can show you one of the cool things we drew from, or we can just talk about things a little bit.
I think I got them in order.
35. Yep, absolutely. Now, this is just a picture out of a book, guys. I'm wicked sorry. I don't know if you can blow that up, but 35 says progress, and that was her personality sun.
No, I did not know. I can't really blow it up.
Don't worry about it. Line 3. Well, I can barely read line 3.
Line 3, collaboration. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
She's forced to collaborate, but she must be in control. The sun drives that collaborative energy into her, but she must be in control. Go to the next page. And that's got to be shared. That's in a collective stream. That's shared. She must share that control. She must share her control of everything with someone else. So, yeah, that's difficult. And this one here, gate 5, waiting. She's really at peace when she's just waiting. Except she's busy now, so she can't just wait. So she thinks, because she's thinking about things that don't matter, trying to be certain, looking for love and direction. So suddenly she's busy trying to find love and direction, not waiting, breaking her patterns. The ritual changes. Suddenly her cells in her body are sick. Did she ever have any problems with something like eating disorders. She looks really skinny sometimes. Did she ever have eating stuff?
Absolutely. She
Because
has
yeah,
issues, and
that would all speak
that's
to
probably just the stem of some of the issues that she has. But
well,
yes,
that's probably
I do feel like she was in there for eating disorders. I don't remember any
it's in
type
her
of
body graph that would be right there.
mhm.
Easy peasy that could come along because that's what she's not, by the way. And these fixed patterns, she's a third line in these fixed patterns. Read at the very top, waiting, the active state of waiting, which is an active state of an awareness. That's what it says at the top, right?
Yes, waiting fixed
Fundamental,
patterns.
fundamental attunement to, I can't read it,
Natural rhythms, waiting as an active state of awareness.
of awareness and enlightenment. Read that third line. Contemplation.
The third line?
Yeah, we're number 3.
Compulsiveness, line 3.
What is what does that say?
Compulsiveness, the
Ah,
fear in engineered by the sense of helplessness resulting in unnecessary stress and activity.
right. And if she waits, that stress and activity from her root center will treat her right. When she can't wait, she goes wrong. And that's where she can be manipulated. When you kept asking, can she be manipulated? I have a feeling you have a reason for asking all that. She could absolutely be manipulated as soon as she gets taken out of her fixed patterns. That was her personality, Earth. So the driving force of the sun drove into her genome the whole need for progress, and it gets grounded in this compulsiveness. And that compulsiveness can be very handy until it takes her out of her fixed patterns. So, by the way, these are pages right out of the book. So, in case you're wondering where all the wisdom of these lines come from, it comes from here.
The Human Design book,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. The definitive book of human design, The Science of Differentiation by Ra Uru Hu, co-authored by helped out by Linda Burnell. It was really written by Ra, but Linda put it in order.
I just got my book and I'm very fascinated.
You go to the back of the book. If you want to skip ahead now, you got to, because now that we've seen it, it's too late, and you can start reading your own lines.
Well, I've been reading about my profile.
Good. And these are the lines within the profile. Anyone who gets the book can suddenly see where's all this magic coming from. It's coming from, this is sort of the index in the back of the book where each gate goes through the descriptions of all the lines, all 6 lines of each gate. 384 lines total.
384 lines.
In total. So that's a lot to mix up, guys. We keep mixing that up amongst humanity in all kinds of different ways. There's really no end to the number of variations when you come to 384.
I know. Has anybody ever done the calculations on that?
Yeah, when it gets down to the base level, as it relates to how many people there can be out of 7.8 billion, there's only going to be a handful, 8, that are actually so close to the same that you could call them the same. But none of that will matter because they'll be at different points of the globe at different points of time, and they'll be different parents, different scene. They'll be conditioned differently, so it still won't matter. So yeah, 2 body graphs can be remarkably similar, but there's, like I said, maybe anywhere from 7 to 18 at most out of 7.8 billion that will have. So there's not a lot of each one. We really did need all 7.8 billion to have a healthy number of each potential archetype. I mean, that's what the program's doing. The program's not concerned with us, Jen. We have to be concerned with us.
I know.
The program's just stamping them out to say, okay, we got a nice genetic mix here, and now we can evolve, and we're seeing this evolution.
I don't like the people who are controlling the program at the moment. So,
Jen, I think they know stuff about this stuff.
That's why I'm not going to lie, Dan. I got heated only because I have my beliefs on her, and at the end of the day, I'm for the children.
You think a little bit? One of them elite people to a degree, whatever, and all that elite circle of crap and bullshit.
Yes, it is. It's just the whole container that they've put us in, and even Ross spoke about that. There's just a lot of corruption, and it goes back to the 5-year-old child. At the end of the day, even Angelina, even if at 5 years old, someone came in and hijacked her as a child, it's still not right.
It's still not right. No.
That's what I really want to know is, like, where can we find out the people that were uh, easily influenced
or put in her path. She may have been groomed.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. I don't
Right.
doubt that one
Right.
bit.
If she were groomed, she would be full of her own entitlement to be in control and busy with the stuff she expects to have and the judgment she sees of the patterns that need to be in place.
Exactly.
So if she is influential in that way, then my guess is she's incredibly influential in that way.
Yes.
She's got all that
Exactly.
juice going on. And poor
Yes.
Brad, I don't think Brad could have kept, no one can really keep, very few men can keep up with that until she slows
Not what
down.
you just described, man.
Well, until she slows down. As soon as she slows down.
Would she ever slow down?
If she wakes up. And again, I don't know where she is in her process, but I've keynoted the beauty of what could be Angela, and I've keynoted the horror of what Angela could be going through. I don't know.
But I agree with what you said, and we've had discussions on this. I do feel that they know about this. JP Morgan Chase made the quote, millionaires don't follow the stars, billionaires do. That's why they do everything in a ritualistic pattern.
Oh.
They know.
See, that's the thing. It wouldn't be hard for them to know. This knowledge has been out since 94, essentially. It came out in 92. It really was there in 87, but it didn't start being published until 92. But if the elite people on this planet know enough, they might have been aware that this experience even took place before Ra Uru Hu was able to publish his first book and get all that stuff out. So that's a long enough time for someone to have become aware of this stuff and start using it against us. If I wanted to manipulate Angela Jolie, I would put a big carrot at the end of something with a lot of money and promise her all the experiences she could ever have right now, and that she'd be in control of all that. And suddenly Angela Jolie would start doing what I wanted her to do. So I would think, and so she would think. Neither one of us would be correct. I'm not here to want her to do things. I'm here to want her to be herself.
Yes, you do. We both, me and you, want people to be themselves, and that's the problem of why people are not themselves, because of the whole.
If Angela Jolie is not herself, then she wants people to be what she wants them to be.
Correct.
Because that channel of materialism just wants to control, and it says I have or I don't have.
We have a question. Matthew asked, how big does location of birth have on human design?
How big does what?
How big does location of birth have on human design?
Well, here's the location is going to be the least sensitive, because I could be on one side of the state of Massachusetts or on the other side, and they're going to functionally come up the same. It's about being in the right hemisphere, right time zone. If you truly don't know where you were born, you get me down to northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere and what time zone. Let's say it's in the United States, and I'll be able to get close enough.
Okay.
So date is obviously the most sensitive. 1 day different, you got a different chart. Time
yes.
is absolutely the next most sensitive, and a very close second, because time can be deceiving. Got the wrong time, and you're two different people. And then location, it's important. You got to have it, but if you're off by a little bit, we'll still get your body graph close enough. There's aspects of a body graph I can't read to a person. They're unreadable. They're just they're technically and scientifically knowable, but no one can read to them, and no one keeps accurate enough birth time yet to know them, because there's some aspects that change after a few secones.
I noticed that
we just wouldn't
with some charts that I have looked up. So
Yep. You just notice there's always a shift. 1 minute later, something's different.
I did with mine because of my birth time. I wanted to know.
Are there any other questions out there?
No, he says good info. Thanks.
Yep, you bet. Have we ever read for Matthew?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Are you able to type it? Hey, Matthew, if you're still watching, dude, do you want me to read for you? Because it'll be about the coolest thing ever.
I'll see if he replies to that.
Yeah. You can go out and tell your friends and stuff. And then the deal. So, Jen, we are the Pied Pipers. We are calling in the forces, period. Get your asses in here, because if you haven't noticed, I'm giving you advanced human design knowledge, and it's not bullshit. It's like really incredibly deep stuff, but put in a way that demystifies it in a logical pattern. So This is deep stuff. We're going way beyond just, oh, you have this way and you're just a generator, you're just a this, and a couple things about type. We're digging into the nuts and bolts of this. And we're
No,
doing
it from a personal standpoint, guys, I guess we can close the are we done with the chart real quick?
Sure, let's go full screen.
From a personal standpoint, what human design has helped me do is know who I am, understand my energy a lot better, how to utilize it, and also gain a better understanding of how I can work with others. So it's man, it's life changing. And the more I dig into it, the more fascinating that it is, and the more accurate it is. And if people really woke up to their true potential, or even if you have a child out there and a child's coming into the world, I've even spoke to some teachers about it. We're not all the same. And many ancient cultures did believe in pulling charts and putting kids with who they're familiar with so that they can grow into who they truly are. We weren't raised in a container like that. And we want people to go back to who they truly are.
No, we weren't raised in that container. And so the all call is permanently out there. If you're a reader, come join us so that we can keep getting more reads out to more people.
Yes, guys, me and Dan have a mission to help people wake up to their true nature. I don't even know how many people are on this planet. We are a 2-man show at the moment.
Yep.
We can't do it. Dan does complimentary sessions with we believe in honest energy exchange here, guys. And with that honest energy exchange, that means if you're going to get a session with Dan, please give us your feedback. Bring other people. Share this information out, because it's important that everybody wake up to their true potential and who they are. We have big things that are coming in the collective over the next couple of years. And I think everybody is aware that we are under a massive change. And with that change, we're going to change. And the kids that are coming in are going to change. And nobody likes change at the end of the day. But there are things that we can do to navigate through it a lot easier.
Yes, and we're going to need to do that.
And come together as a tribe like we're supposed to, like a community, instead of having someone else dictate what that community is.
Absolutely right. And if you come in this plane and you come in as yourself with parents that are aware enough to treat you as you are, you'll grow up right. The best defense in these changing times is to know your own way so you can be it. That's your best protection during all of this mayhem that is actually unfolding. That, and probably if you're an American, a big pile of guns or whatever, if that's what you're into, and all that, and food and this and that. But so the other call, obviously, is to people that want to learn. I'm teaching. And that fair energy exchange, I'll stay on the phone. Jen's seen me do it. I'll just stay on the phone. I'll teach you.
Dan's phenomenal. Like, for what he gives you, it's,
hours.
You go to any other human design reader, they're going to charge you $200 or $300. Dan actually spends a lot of time with you. We really want you to understand your design. We also want to go the step further of helping you integrate it. Mm-hmm. And we are working on things behind the scenes to help you start living it.
Yep.
So that's where we're going to make this change. I'm a quantum coach. It's like dropping that pebble in the water.
Yes.
We are dropping that pebble into the time-space continuum, and y'all are helping us make a ripple effect out to the collective.
So
it is time we wake up to our true potential.
If you want to learn, it most certainly is. And if you want to learn human design, it is not that difficult. There's a few layers of keynotes. I'll start going through them with you. You just got to get over the surprise of it all. And for that, I'm just going to do it. And the fair energy exchanges, you're going to tell us all about it. Jen's going to interview you. And I'm going one step further, Jen. You empowered this. We need some work out of you. We need some help. We need you to help us do some things on our podcast, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it'll be your creative effort that we're looking for, not to enslave anybody. But the trade is, I'll keep teaching and I'll keep reading and I won't stop. Jen, see it. I'm a generator. I don't need to stop until I'm exhausted. And
I'm not. I'm a manifester.
Right. You need a regular bedtime. It's wicked important. Non-sacral beings need regular rest. And then whatever. But So that's the energy exchange. Do stuff for us, and especially do several exit interviews with Jen as time goes by, so we see that progress. We're post it, and if you want to get taught and you don't want to pay $1 billion to a for-profit place that literally needs to turn a profit, I have enough of my own money. I'm doing it. I'm talking. No one can tell me I'm not. And if they try to, they can go fucking pound sand, because I'm doing whatever the hell I want to do.
That's right. Go pound sand.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Go pound sand, bitches. Yeah, we're putting it out on the plane, and no one is stopping this thing. Not gonna happen. It's a freight train rolling, baby.
That's exactly right. We are steamrolling here at Human Design Advantage. With that said, thank you everybody who tuned in. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to the show. Get this information out. Tag somebody wherever you're viewing this, on Facebook, YouTube. Check the comments. Go check the link. Reach out to us if you're really wanting to have Dan read for you. Couples too. I did an awesome interview today with a lady. Her husband was getting read, and I can't tell you, like, Amelia. It really helped. It was a lot of positive feedback because it helped their relationship. And that's not the first couple that Dan has read for. There's been many. So not just with your kid, with your kids, if you're in a relationship, work related. I like to do it with my clients as well. So it's very beneficial to help you and the people that are around you.
Yep. Will do. Don't be controlled. Get your design read, and then you'll know.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for everybody who tuned in. And with that said, please make sure to tune in on Sunday. Where we are wrapping up the final Demystifying Human Design.
2 more episodes. Yep.
2 more episodes. And then we're going to be looking for speakers to come on to the show, I believe.
Yep.
All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you on Sunday.
We will see you on Sunday. Rock on. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.